Roethke's My Papa's Waltz is an instructive text for students of poetry for its masterful use of sound, its ambiguity, its controlling metaphor, and the tension between the author's intent and widespread interpretation. Let's take these issues one by one. Many others have already thoroughly analyzed this text, and I refer you to their work already available online for a line-by-line demonstration. However, the text is written by Roethke. Many people call him Roethke, but it is pronounced Roethke. You won't be the first to mispronounce his name. He's been gone some 60 years, he won't mind. Roethke's Iambic Trimeter, other people call it trimeter, but technically it is trimeter. You won't be the first to call it trimeter. The meter of this text replicates what seems to be described metaphorically, which is to say, the 3 beats, the 3 feet per line, the Iambic Trimeter, is the pulse, it is the rhythm of a waltz, that graceful ballroom form of Europe, of high society, here relocated to the intimate space of a family, a father-son relationship. The sound, of course, also carries through in the rhyming. So you have both a rhythm, rhyme. It is a fixed form poem with this lilting musical quality. What is the musicality? Is it simply a romping, fun exchange between the father and son? Might be a bit roughhousing, but this cherished memory, all of course in the past tense, of the speaker remembering his boyhood with his somewhat perhaps unstable, intoxicated father, roughhousing with him, and yet the love that endured between them? Or is it something else? The ambiguity of the poem is also masterfully achieved. There is the ominous overtones of the beating, the knuckle, the belt, beating time, not only as a conductor orchestrating, directing the symphony of this waltz, but perhaps also beating in that other sense of beating a child. Nonetheless, the affection of the boy, of the child for the papa is very clear. This could be a very profound and moving and yet also disturbing reflection on a child's memory of an abusive father. The battered knuckle from the father's work, perhaps also indicating battery, assault of a different kind. Now that takes us to the issue of how Roethke, the author, always spoke of this poem as dismissing. He would dismiss any reference to abuse and violence. Does that necessarily control or influence our reading? Many readers have seen these overtones of violence and the complicated relationships between especially fathers and sons as suffusing this poem. We'll get to questions of author's intent, of what the author thinks as opposed to what the readers make of it later on, but that is a question already for us to consider here. Finally, is this point as a point that that others have also spoken about, that reading the text without attention to its sound, to its form, and how Roethke controls for every syllable in this poem deprives us of a complete interpretation. In order to get everything from this poem, we need to take into account the metaphor of the dance, every aspect of the hands, the palms, the child and the belt, the buckle, the knuckle, and so on. All these words also that rhyme together. And the meter. It all comes together with both rhythm and rhyme, with metaphor and figure language, content, author intent, and a challenging text that is a pleasure, even if it's perhaps a disturbing text in your view, of interpretation and poetic study. I hope you enjoy the work.